So if you're saying, Kelly, hey, I don't have time or energy to do exercise, I totally get it. I am right there with you. Um, After my car accident, I saw my doctor and was diagnosed with my concussion, and she took me off work for 2 weeks, and then she said I could go back to work. And when I heard that, I thought, oh, okay, well, then I can get back to my exercise too. And I tried really, really hard to get back into my martial arts training for several weeks, and I failed epically. And so then I started getting, a couple months later, getting the care that I needed to help my brain to heal. And then I've returned to work. And when I returned to work, I didn't have energy to exercise. All I did was go to work and then come home and just sleep until I had to go back to work again. And so I get it. If you feel you don't have time or energy to get back to exercise. I mean, I took 3 years after my brain injury to get back to just walking on the weekends. It's brutal. Sometimes it can be brutal getting back to being active after a brain injury. There's so many things that kind of are stacked against us. I get it. But with that being said, we still need to be active and exercise because it supports the healing of our brain, correct? And just a reminder to make sure that your physical therapy, your occupational, all your therapy, exercise are a priority first. And the other thing I wanted to throw in there is that if you were like me and I had a long commute and I was working at a desk, is to ask the physical therapist to make sure to modify your exercises to fit your lifestyle. So initially, one time I went in and I got exercises that required me to lay on the floor, and I took them home and I tried to find time and energy to do them. I couldn't lay on the floor at work. I mean, gross. Um, but uh, I just couldn't find the time. And so I really had to push my physical therapist to modify my exercises, make him understand, hey, I want to do these exercises. It's just that I am at work 40 hours plus a week and I have neuro fatigue from my brain injury. And so I don't have the energy to be getting up and down off the floor um, at the end of the day when I'm also trying to get ready for the next day of work. Can you please give me some exercises that I can do while sitting in a chair during the day while I'm at work? And he finally did. And that allowed me to get some of those exercise frequencies and reps in during the day. So you may want to consider that too if you're returning to work and getting your exercise modified to what works best for you. Now, there's also other people who can't get up and down off the floor, or that up and down worsens their vertigo. So really let your therapist know what you need to be able to do the exercises, and know that there's more than one way to do the exercise to help improve your heal your injury or your brain um, for that. And the other thing too is um, once you get really good at those exercises, sometimes you'll feel or you'll be told that your healing is plateauing, and that's not true. What has happened is that you've gotten to a point where you and your brain need to be challenged. And so once you reach that point where your exercises are easy to do, or moderately easy to do, and you feel like you're not improving, then tell your therapist that you want more challenging exercises and therapies because they are out there. The other thing too is I would talk to my patients and their physical therapy referral would run out. They would get approved for like 6 to 8 weeks and then would run out. And after 6 months, I could resubmit the referral and they can go back. And so if you do get to a point where you're plateauing, continue to do the the exercises. But if you're not back to where you want to be or you think you can be, then ask for another referral to the therapist to go back and then learn more challenging exercises and therapies. Because as time passes, as you heal, as you do your therapies and you're exercising, your brain's going to improve in its function. And when it does, then the therapist has to reevaluate where your level is at and where your areas where you're weaker are at, your deficits, to help focus your exercise to help improve those areas. So just because your physical therapist appointments run out or they discharge you from rehab therapy doesn't mean that you can't benefit from more therapy later on. So just keep that in mind.